Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is P and today I'm going to be playing Farming Simulator 22. So I will be doing Elmcreek for the map and I'm going to be playing in start from scratch mode. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so here we are. This is the starter farm. Now, if I was playing in new farmer mode, I would actually own all of this, but because I am in start from scratch mode, I have no property or land or equipment to my name right now. So I do have $500,000, but I also owe money to the bank. So if I open up my menu here, yeah, I have $500,000. I owe $200,000 to the bank, so basically have $300,000 to work with. I don't own any land, no animals, no equipment, nothing. See, garage is empty. So I think what I want to do to get started, I'm going to check out the used item sale to see if there's anything worth buying right now. So looks like, okay, it's a pretty good price on the shallow cultivator, but I don't have a tractor at this time, so I probably won't be buying that. It's a nice baler, but it doesn't wrap silage, so I won't be doing that. Okay. So I think what I will do, I'm not going to jump right into buying any property because right now if I don't have any equipment, it doesn't make sense to buy the farm and not be able to really take care of the fields. So I'm going to be doing some contract work for the first couple of days and then just trying as much as I can to complete contracts and start making some money. So before I start doing contracts, I do want to go ahead and go over my settings and mods. So right now I'm going to be doing, I'll put it on 1x for the time scale. Going to leave economic difficulty on hard, leave traffic on. I'll be doing seasonal growth and 1-day months. If it feels like it's going by too fast, I might change that to 2-day months, but I think 1 day is fine for now. Crop destruction on, plowing on, field stones, lime, weeds. So I do want it to be pretty challenging, so I'm going to leave all of these turned on right now. I'm going to enable automatic engine start, so basically if I switch to a vehicle, the engine will just start by itself. I'll do stop and go braking on. Guess trailer fill limit is more realistic, so I'll leave that on. And I think we should be good there. And then for the mods that I'm currently using, I did choose mods that are cross-play compatible just in case if anyone wants to play along on console, you all should still have access to the same mods. So what I have now are the auto load trailer and the pallet auto load trailer. I did have a modern storage loft, which is basically just the storage barn from Farming Simulator 19 for hay, but I think I forgot to select it and I won't need that for a while anyway. But both of these are cross-play compatible, so they should be available on console as well. So there are 2 contracts that are available at the moment, which are both plowing contracts. I'm going to accept both of these and I'm going to borrow equipment from the bigger contract, and you can actually use the equipment on multiple contracts as long as you don't complete the contract, because then it will return the equipment. So I'm going to take a slight reduction by leasing the equipment, but I'll be able to use it for both jobs. Okay, so I'm going to go pick up this equipment from the store and I will be back. Okay, so I'm here at the store and I have the tractor weight and the plow. I'm going to go ahead and do field, I believe it was 45, that's the smaller one. I'll do that one first and then I'll do field 41 after that. And then I should be able to return the equipment unless another plowing contract pops up. Okay, so I'll be back once I'm near field 45. Okay, so that's field 45 finished, which is actually one of the fields that you get when you purchase the starter farm. So look how beautiful and nicely plowed this one is. So I'm gonna head right over to field 41, which is just the next turn over, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm here at field 41, and as you can see, it is much larger than field 45, so this will take some time, but I will be back when the contract is finished and I can collect my earnings. And with that, the contract on field 41 is finished. Okay, so nothing else actually came up just yet, so I'm going to go ahead and collect on these two contracts, and that's going to return the equipment. And I will keep an eye on any additional contracts that may pop up, and also I'm keeping an eye on the used equipment sale just to see if anything else comes up here. Okay, so it's a couple of in-game hours later, and there are some new contracts that popped up. So I'm going to do the cultivating contract and also the baling contract. So this one pays pretty well. It's 6,630, and that's only reduced by $159 by having to borrow all of the items. I'm not going to do the fertilizing contract because when I think about it, I have to lease the equipment, so it would end up taking $55 off, and the payout is only $276. Plus, I'd also have to buy the fertilizer. So I think I'd actually end up losing a lot of money doing that job, so I'm going to ignore that one. But I'm going to borrow the items. I'll probably go ahead and knock out the cultivating job first and the baling last. So I'll be back. All right, and field 40 is finished. All right, so it's time to start the baling contract on field 19. And field 19 is thankfully not a huge field. So it is the one if you take the little road up past the shop right here. So not terribly large, but baling contracts do have a lot of steps to complete them. So first I have to mow all the grass in field 19. Then I have to come back, grab the windrower, form it into rows, and then come back, get the baler, make it into bales, get the silage wrapper, wrap every bale, and then transport all of them to the sell point. So this will take quite a bit of time, but I'll keep checking back in. Okay, so this is my first time using this exact type of bale wrapper to make the silage bale, so I'm not quite sure exactly how everything needs to line up, but I'm gonna turn on the help menu. So I'm gonna unfold it, turn on automatic drop. I'll drop that for now. Okay, so let's line up with this first bale here. Should be pretty simple. It looks like you just drive up to it, I guess. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's really simple. So I will finish up the rest of these bales. There aren't that many, and I'm going to go ahead and transport them to the biogas right down the hill there, and that will be the end of this contract. So I'll be back when it's time to transport them. Okay, so I just delivered 2 of the silage bales to the biogas plant, and they fulfilled 34% of the contract requirement. So that means I will have to actually deliver all 6 of these bales that I wrapped in order to get to 100% on the contract. But I did leave, I think, 3 bales of grass unwrapped, and I'm going to keep those because when I get started on sheep, I can actually use that to feed the sheep. So that'll really help out with getting started with livestock. So when I do these baling contracts, whatever I have left over, I'll probably just keep. Okay, so that finished the contract on field 19, and I also got $134 extra for the overage. And so before I actually click complete, since that will return the equipment, I'm going to use this bale loader and tractor just to take those last 3 grass bales down the hill to the shop, and then I'll be done with this contract. Okay, so I still haven't finished that contract just yet, so I still have the tractor and bale loader, but I'm actually thinking what I might do is to go ahead and purchase this land up here. It's a really nice flat area, and you can sell all of these buildings, but I think this would be a nice place to set up a lot of the livestock and greenhouses, things like that that can produce sort of passive income. So it is pretty expensive. Let me see. So I haven't collected on this yet, so that'll be another 6,500 or so. But if I buy this, yeah, it costs $260,000. I would end up with all of that flat land. I could get rid of the buildings. I don't think you get paid for it, but I could still just delete them. And then I would get 3 fields, which are already planted with grass. So I could use those for silage and make a little bit of money on the side if I buy some equipment for baling. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. And then since I have the hay or the grass from that previous contract, I'm going to go ahead and start on some sheep. Oh, okay, that was a very large purchase. All right, and I don't think this counts as a sleep point for some reason. So you should be able to sleep here, but it doesn't have the trigger, so I'll have to put a house down if I want to be able to have a place to pass the night. So let me go to construction. Oh, wait a second. Okay, I guess all of these count as just one thing together. Okay, so I guess you can't sell just one or the other. They all kind of light up at the same time. Okay, so this space is now nice and open. And yeah, I'm gonna take a minute to plan out how I want to have the sheep, because I have to think about all the other animals kind of in the future, and also not sure if I'm gonna go ahead and put some greenhouses down, but I will be back. And also these 3 fields are mine as well, so that's good. All right, so I went ahead and purchased, I got the larger sheep barn. This one can hold up to 65 sheep, so I'm not going to buy that many to start with, but they do reproduce, so they'll eventually fill this up. And it fits pretty perfectly here. I still have room to walk or drive something between the sheep pen and this grass field. And I'm going to buy a few sheep. Let's see, I have 148,000 left. And also this barn does not require you to deliver water, so I don't have to worry about buying an extra water tank right now too, so that's good. And if I buy these newborns, they can't start reproducing until 8 months, but they only cost $200. Or I can go ahead and buy the 8-month-olds and they can start reproducing immediately, but they are $488 plus with the transport fee. They're going to be more than that, so let's see. So 5 months. So it would start having babies around January. So I think I'll go ahead and buy a few of the mature ones, but not very many right now. I'll just get just one of each kind, just to have one. Okay, so it's a really small number to start with, but I think what I'll do is as I do contracts and make more money, I'll maybe slowly increase the number of sheep. And they're not really going to produce that much wool at all in the beginning, but eventually they will end up multiplying and filling up the barn and producing a lot of wool. So once they start producing a good amount of wool, I can buy the spinnery and start making fabric. So that's my goal. But yeah, I'm going to use this tractor, bring the rest of the grass back from the shop, and then I will go ahead and complete that contract. So it's a little while later and some fertilizing contracts popped up. So I'm going to go ahead and borrow the equipment on this one. This has the larger fertilizer spreader. These other ones have the really small one. So I'm going to borrow the items from this one and then just use those same items to complete all of these fertilizing contracts. There is a pretty nice paying plowing contract on field 38, but field 38 is really big. So it would take me probably a couple of real life hours to do that contract. And I think that's enough for this episode as far as the contracts, unless something small like fertilizing or cultivating pops up. So that may still be available tomorrow, which will be September. If not, we'll just miss that one. But I'm going to go ahead and knock out these fertilizing contracts and I'll be back. Okay, so I am back and I went ahead and finished up those fertilizing contracts. I did have to buy 2 bags of the solid fertilizer, so that ended up being about $3,800, a little bit over, but I still was able to make a profit off of those contracts. And I went ahead and bought the small manufactured home, so I have a farmhouse now, so I can sleep and pass the night. And so far, the only contract left is that plowing contract for Field 38, which I'm not going to be able to touch right now. But if it's still there tomorrow, depending on what other contracts are available, I may try to do that one. But tomorrow will be a new month, so hopefully there'll be some other things to do. And I think this is probably a good place to wrap up the episode. So, got a lot done, did a lot of contracts, bought some land, got some sheep. So, I feel pretty good about what I was able to accomplish today. And the next episode will be the month of September, year 1. So, I'll see what we can get into. And thank you all so much for viewing. I appreciate anyone who made it all the way to the end because I imagine this will end up being a pretty long video. As always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them in the comment section, and I always do read all of my comments. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and everyone take care.